Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to talk about surviving divorce and keeping the kids intact. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team. And the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, unfortunately, it's the time of year when many couples finally call it quits and they go to divorce court. January, February, notoriously the busiest month for divorce attorneys. But if you're shopping for a divorce attorney, you want to make sure that you know somebody who has been in your shoes before. To talk about that, Britney Harrison. She's an attorney with Calabrese Budner. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, you are a returning guest. We had you on the show 2 years ago. And
Yes.
I'm so impressed with you. And now you're with Calabrese Budner. And one of your partners coined a phrase, emotionally intelligent divorce. What's that mean?
It's focusing on the emotional aspects of divorce that are often sometimes, hate to say ignored, but you're dealing with the business of dividing assets, doing whatever possession schedule, but you have to also deal with the emotional impact on the clients that they're facing during a divorce. And so that's something that our firm does and sets us apart from other firms because we do focus on that. And that's the whole, making the client whole again after the divorce.
Sure, and you became an attorney in 2013. By 2018, unfortunately, your marriage ended. How does that help you as a divorce attorney?
It makes me really have empathy for my clients because I've been there. I understand what they're going through. And it's not a fun process, obviously, but it's kind of a comfort to the client knowing that I've been through that and that they can really kind of depend on me a little bit to kind of help them through all of those emotional aspects in addition to the legal.
You were telling me before the show that one of the lessons you learned is you got to kind of quiet all the voices around you because everybody has an opinion.
Yes, you will get everyone. It's like, well, my cousin went through a divorce and this is what happened and this is what she got. You need to do this, you need to do that. Or, my dad did this and he did this and he did that. You have to realize every case is individual and every case has individual needs. And so what happens in your case may not happen in someone else's case. And so it's just best to really just kind of focus in on you and keep out all the noise.
Yeah, more tips in a second, but I'm going to brag on Britney because she would never brag on herself. We're going to go down her awards page. And I mean, you're a very young lady still, and you've won so many prestigious awards. What do you attribute this grit to, or this, it takes some stick-to-itiveness to accomplish as much as you have?
It's really just, I don't know. I do what I do. I've always liked to strive for excellence and representing my clients. And that's why I switched to family law in 2013 because I like helping people individually. And it's just nice to be recognized, especially by my peers for a lot of these awards. And so it's humbling. Well,
you probably have to get more outfits because it seems like every picture I saw on Facebook is you at an award ceremony holding something. Let's talk more about, secrets to surviving divorce and keeping the kids intact because unfortunately, way too many times parents will use the kids as pawns.
It does happen, and I really hate to see that because at the end of the day, your children are really what's the most important thing. And so that's what we like to remind our clients of what is best for your children. And that's why sometimes, I litigate, but we also do collaborative divorce because sometimes that collaborative divorce process is much better for your family. But sometimes you do have to go to court. So it's good to make sure that you have an attorney that understands those aspects and will always, at the end of the day, put the children first and remind you to put the children first because, again, they're the most important things to you. And you want to be making the decisions for your children, not a judge who's never seen your children or never even met your children making decisions for their life.
Sure. We're going to put up on the screen just some file tape of couples fighting. Talk about COVID and the impact of COVID on the caseload for divorce attorneys.
So yes, we never slowed down. It was actually, I believe when COVID hit, in April, I think it was when the first stimulus checks came out, I had about 9 divorces filed in a 2-week period. Because what we were seeing is that if there were any cracks in your relationships that were not being addressed before COVID, everyone was forced to be in the house together. And a lot of things just kind of came to a head and they realized, I can't live with this person. I don't know who this person is anymore. And I can't be in quarantine with this person. And so we did see quite a few divorces. We also did see quite a few births in children. So it was kind of both sides. And so a lot of those were, they turned out well, but, about 40 weeks later, sometimes we had a lot of custody cases come up after people got out of COVID and realized that really wasn't the right fit for them.
And COVID certainly has created a whole slew of mental health issues that play out over time, including with the kids. Is the number one and number two cause of divorce still money fights and fights over the kids?
Those were generally the main things that we're fighting over, but mental health has really started to creep in there as well. Hopefully more people will address it, particularly there's a lot of communities that don't believe in mental health, but it's real and it impacts your children. And sometimes your children, they have those same issues. And so we really stress making sure you get therapists for yourself, you get a therapist for your children if necessary, just because you have to work on those issues.
Sure, and at Calabrese Budner, they have a dream team of attorneys. We're going to put her team up on the screen. As you look at that all-star team, you have to be very proud to work there.
I am. I'm actually blessed I joined the firm back in April of last year. It was the best decision I could have made. I love working with everyone there. We have a variety of experience. We have 2 brand new associates as well as Carla, who's been practicing for over 30 years. And so for me, as a person who's always trying to learn, I was happy to kind of cling on to Carla to learn more about the collaborative divorce process and really just add to my skill set.
Sure. I know there's no such thing as a happy divorce because all of it is sad. An end of a marriage is sad. But we were talking before the show about one case in particular that warms your heart. What were you telling me?
Yes. So I had a client. We're actually still friends today, and she had beautiful children, and it was just a really trying time for her, and it was a really hard divorce. I related to her a lot because some of the issues I had in my marriage she was experiencing. And then it was just really nice on the other end of that to see when she got remarried, because she worked through the divorce, worked on herself, the kids were doing well, and then getting to see that client get remarried and rebuild their lives, it was just the best experience.
That's awesome. Okay, we're almost out of time. So if somebody's watching this right now and they say, okay, I think I just found my attorney, what does the process look like? If they call you up and sit down with you, is there any financial obligation just to see if there's a case?
Yes, so what we do is, because I don't ever take a case where I haven't sat down with you, because you need to sit down with me for an hour and tell me about your issues and also ensure that I'm the person to work with you, because picking a divorce attorney is really important, and you need to pick someone that you can trust, understands you, and depends on that. And so you would just call up the firm or email and set up a consult with me. My consult fee is my regular hourly rate of $375, and I'll meet with you for an hour, and then we go through the process and determine if this is a good fit. And I would love to represent you.
That's great. Well, I can see why you're so successful, and save some more room on that mantle, because I think you're going to have a few more awards. We're going to end with the website, which is calabresebudner.com. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.